Hey, this is going to be the start of the relationship vlogs that I was talking about. I apologize for my dog in the background. He's a bit excited because he was just outside recently. But please, no judgment or whatever, with whatever I share with you guys. This is just strictly something that I can just release, kind of vent about it and have people listen and maybe give feedback or whatever, because a lot of people go through the same things that others go through, whether they realize it or not. I'm sorry, my dog. Um, so basically, I will start from the beginning, where I was in my past. Back in 2005, I dated this guy named Anthony. I actually met him through MySpace. I was a freshman at college, and I had just gotten a MySpace, so I used it to find friends, to make at school because I was shy, and I mean, I still kind of am, but I was shy and I wanted a way to meet people. So we talked a lot, on the internet. We talked for several months before we actually met each other, on campus. And we hung out a few times, and then he asked me out and we dated. So I was with Anthony for just shy of 3 years. About a month and a half shy of 3 years. Uh, in the beginning, like, he was my first everything. Like, back in high school, I had boyfriends, but they were basically in school boyfriends. I never really went on dates with them, and my parents were very strict and sheltering of me, so he was my first everything. So when I fell in love with him, I fell hard and I fell fast. Um, he was my first everything, so that could have been why I was so attached emotionally. Um, I always wanted to keep my virginity until I got married, but then once I started falling in love with him, because I was actually able to spend my time with him, do things with him, as compared to my past where I couldn't. It was like talking on the phone, like seeing each other every now and then. So that could be why I fell hard and I fell fast. Plus, he was the game player. He said all the right things, did all the right things to make me fall for him. He was still in that mentality of high school, like playing games and whatever. Even though he was a college boy, he still did all of that stuff, so I fell hard for him. In the beginning, it was very good. The first year was awesome. Second year, not so much. I mean, it was alright, but the final year of our relationship, was nothing but possessiveness, jealousy, distrust. He was mentally abusive to me. He ended up hitting me once. He was a firm believer in that you don't ever hit a woman, but I got him angry to the point where he hit me. He hit my leg, but still it was like enough where I was like shocked and I was taken aback. And I mean, no matter how hard it is, you shouldn't hit other people. But, I admit I messed up in that relationship. Looking back, there's things I could have done differently. But, I want to take responsibility for myself, but he did kind of get me to that point. I did end up cheating on him. I didn't want to be with him anymore. I was actually kind of stuck at one point. My family lost everything. Like I said, I met him through school, so, on vacations, I would go home, which was an hour and a half away, and during summer breaks, winter breaks, he'd come and pick me up and stuff like that. And it came to a point where I bought my own car and everything, and I had a job at Walmart back in my hometown. And I went back up in '07 to ESU, and then a few weeks into the semester and my new job and everything, I got a call from my parents saying that they were evicted from their apartment. And then because of that, my brother moved in with my dad and my stepmom, and literally within the same week, their house caught on fire and they lost everything. So I had nowhere to go, really. Like, I would have nowhere to go on breaks. So my ex Anthony and his parents took me under their wing, and I lived with him. So basically, I felt stuck at one point because I really couldn't afford to go out on my own or anything like that. So I kind of just had to deal with his mental abuse and possessiveness and jealousy. That's just how he was. I didn't really give him reason. It's just how he was, but because of how he acted, I ended up cheating on him. In my mind, the relationship was done, although I still loved him, and like I thought I should be with him for the rest of my life because of him being my first. I always had that thought of the one you give your everything to is the one you spend the rest of your life with. So I ended up cheating on him, and I felt horrible about it. At one point, I wanted to make it work, so I ended everything that was going on with what I was doing. And I wanted to make it work with my ex. It went well for a while, but then it just started going bad again. I felt like we were doing better when I wasn't living with him, and then after that, it was just all downhill from there. Like, it got worse. Like, I would go home and visit my family every now and then, and I'd be getting texts, like, he'd fill my inbox, or whatever, just, like, constantly texting me, like, checking up on me. So, because of his jealousy and possessiveness, I myself kind of became jealous. I already am paranoid to begin with. So, I don't know, I ended up becoming jealous. I mean, I was in that for 3 years, so it's kind of something I picked up along the way. And towards the end of the relationship with Anthony, I met my current ex, Wade. He started working at Walmart. He was on the remodel team. Our store is remodeling, and we became friends, and he liked me, and I didn't know it, but we were friends. We were hanging out a lot, and he happened to know of my ex Anthony from high school, and he would tell me, you shouldn't be with him, like, he treats you that way, like, that's messed up. I know him from high school. It makes sense that he would be that way. He was kind of a bully in school, beat people up, and I know, like, that Wade wasn't just saying it because he liked me, like, it was the truth. So that's kind of the beginning of how I met Wade, but I won't go into that now because the 10 minutes is almost up, but I will get to that in the next vlog. So basically, for 3 years, like, it started off good, and then I became unhappy with his jealousy and possessiveness, and then I ended up cheating on him because of all of that, because I was so unhappy. But stay tuned for more vlogs. Alright, bye guys.